Hey, hey guys, how you doing? All right, bear with me just a sec. I'm just gonna wait and see if anyone comes on the line. Let me know if you jump on. Say hi. Cool. All right. So good morning or afternoon or whatever it is. I've forgotten what it is now, and that's okay. Wanted to have a chat with you today, right? And this is something that if you saw sort of my rant yesterday about, you know, letting go, and I was quite colourful with my language. When I get quite worked up about stuff, that's what happens, and I dare say it's going to happen in this video as well as per normal, which is fine. However, I got very worked up because I kind of got to thinking about creating this dream life and stepping up and owning it and just doing the work, doing it constantly, regardless how you feel, regardless how you don't feel like it, whatever it is. And it really hit me that maybe I don't explain this often enough. And so I'm sort of thought I have to kind of go into this and I have to explain this, that your dream life doesn't have to look like anybody else's. Like, I know that obviously what I talk about a lot is, entrepreneurship and running your own business and creating, your own lifestyle based on basically running your own business, because that's what feels natural for me. That's what calls to me. I've never been very good at being employed. Having said that, my previous employers might disagree, and I don't mean as if I'm a horrible person to have as an employee, because I'm not. I'm a very hard worker. I always have been, and I translate that into every single facet of my life, right? But for me personally, I'm a very I change my mind about things very quickly, and I'm very multi-passionate, and I really want to do a whole lot of things. And therefore, as much as I love the idea of when I get a job, I get all excited, I get really, into, where am I going to go, where I'm going to go for lunch, all this kind of stuff. Like, I get really excited about this new job. That excitement lasts for all of about 5 minutes or a day, and then I'm already over it and I'm already looking for something else. And this is why I know I have to work for myself. I have to run my own business, because there's no other job in the world that's going to fulfill me in this way, and also that's going to allow me to basically change my mind every 5 seconds and do what I want and go by what feels right and what I'm called to do and what I'm meant to be doing. There's just no job out there that's going to fulfill that, because it's not meant to be. There's not meant to be a job for me. I'm meant to be doing what I'm meant to be doing, and there's no other way around it, right? But the same as I know that this is what I'm meant to be doing, and that I'm meant to be helping, impacting millions of people, helping them to live their absolute best life, creating the kind of relationships, the kind of lifestyles, the kind of careers, the kind of health and fitness, and just absolutely smashing out this life, this one lifetime, as far as we know that we have, and just absolutely taking it by the balls and just going with it, right? As much as I know that that is exactly what I'm meant to be doing, and that I'm not meant to be doing this under anybody else, that I need to be impacting it and making it happen in the way that I see it happening and the way that I feel it's meant to happen. Just the same as I know that, I actually am very well aware that not everybody is cut out for this. I mean, there were years where I would say I wasn't sure if I was cut out for this, but the truth is, I knew, okay, I doubted myself quite heavily that I was actually good enough to do this and all that kind of stuff. But I always knew there was no other option, so I had to make it happen, right? So even when I doubted myself, even when I kind of wondered, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this work? How am I going to get the money? How am I going to get an income out of this? Does anyone even want to listen to me anyway? All that kind of stuff. I knew I had no option, because I knew what the option was going back to a day job, going back to working for someone else, and I knew that I would be there for 5 minutes when once again I would be bored and looking for something else. And it wasn't the job that was unfulfilling, it was me. I was not being fulfilled in any role like that. So it became a realization that, well, I just don't have a choice in this. I always say you have a choice in everything, but not, I guess, when it comes to who you are at your core and being absolutely true to yourself and what you're meant to be doing. If you're going to ignore that for the rest of your life, then that's going to be a big problem for you. But as much as this is something that came to me, that I absolutely have to be doing what I'm doing, I have to be helping people, I have to be, it wasn't even, it's only recently that I've discovered the speaking side of things. Before that, I thought I was just about writing, and I loved, my writing, I loved my blogging, I loved coming up with new ideas and all that kind of stuff. But it was only recently that I realized, no, I really love speaking. And it's something that's, I guess, come really naturally to me for a very long time, that I love to speak about what I'm passionate about. And it's easy for me as well. As much as I love to send over information and write information and everything like that, when I'm with my clients, when I'm with them in person, or whether I'm with them over the phone or whatever it is, I am just much more articulate and much better at expressing everything that I need to get out to them, and actually getting my enthusiasm over to them so that they step up and do what they need to do as well. So I have that power to kind of influence people and power to call them to action, which is a huge, huge thing, right? But just as much as I know that that's what I'm meant to do, I need to make it really clear that this doesn't mean everyone does. And I know that if you're following me, if you're watching me, all that kind of stuff, you've probably done it because you are on the same sort of wavelength, which is fine. But I want to make it really clear that this whole, being an entrepreneur, running your own business, it's not the only way. And it's really not it's not the only way, and it's actually very much not recommended for most people, because it's tough. It is really, really fucking tough. And you need to be even tougher. And there's going to be days and weeks and months and years on end that you're wondering what the hell you're doing, basically. And if it isn't for the fact that you have no other option, because within you, this is exactly what you're meant to be doing, come hell or high water, however long it takes, until it takes, once you know that that's what it is, then you're going to do it. But if that's something that you've never felt, if that's something that doesn't inspire you, if that fear, that worry, that hecticness, and just constantly under the pump and wondering what the hell's going to happen, and can you even go by even less sleep than you already have, whatever it is, if that's not for you, then it's not for you, right? And I'm not saying that every single business has to be run that way. It absolutely doesn't. And this is where I kind of want to get to the point of today's feed, right? So whatever your dream life is, it doesn't have to look like anyone else's. And that includes me. It doesn't mean that just because you're following me, just because you listen to my stuff, just because you're inspired or motivated by what I'm saying, blah, 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 about, being an entrepreneur and running your own business and stuff, does not mean that you have to do that. Everybody has a different calling. Everybody has a different reason for being on this earth. I absolutely believe that there are people who, as much as this may not be something I personally identify with, I have met people, and I know that they exist, that their calling is, for example, to have babies. Like, they've just known since they were very, very young that what they are meant to do is they are meant to have children. They are meant to help them grow. They are meant to impact them, influence them, help them become amazing little human beings. And that they just feel that, like, that thought of that lights them up, right? And it's exactly the same as this. If running your own business and having this kind of pressure and that kind of stuff doesn't light you up, if it doesn't make you, shit scared but excited, really excited at the same time, then this is not for you. Because same as for me, having babies and that kind of stuff, it doesn't scare me, but it sure as hell doesn't greatly excite me either. So that's why I'm not doing it yet, or ever, or whatever it happens, right? But there are people for whom that is a huge thing. That is exactly what they want to do, and they can't wait to do it. And you can just tell on them that this lights them up. This makes their life, right? And this is their dream, and that's fine. There are, heaps of things that we need to do. If your dream is to be a doctor, to help people, to heal people, to fix people, basically that's what you do, right? You fix people. then fine. You don't have to run your own business. You don't have to do anything like that. You can go work for someone. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There are plenty of jobs and plenty of people that need to be employed, that are absolutely needed. And more to the point, if this is you, if you don't have a calling to go out on your own and be your own boss or anything like that, then don't. Then don't. It's just not worth it. It is only going to be worth it if this is exactly what you want to do. If there's no other option for you, if every single moment, regardless how amazing your employer is, you're still knowing that this is just not right for you. That's the only way you're going to know. If you've never had an amazing employer, if you've never worked for someone that is just such just incredible human being, so kind, so generous, that you connect with so well, all that kind of stuff. If you've never had that experience, then it's going to be really hard to understand what I mean when I say that it's really hard for some people to get out of a employed mindset and into running your own business if you've had someone who's absolutely amazing, who, for me personally, I have an employer, my most recent one actually, and my last job that I'd ever have, who I cannot speak highly enough about. And I say it over and over to everyone that asks, because they know about my time back in real estate for a few years. And I tell absolutely everyone that if I was cut out for working for someone else, I would never have left my previous employer, because like they were incredible. They are like family to me. They, there are no words for how incredible they are. If I was anyone but me, I would have never left there, right? And if you haven't had that experience, then maybe you don't understand that. And this is where I'm really big on trying to get it across to people that you can have your dream life. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Your dream life could be finding the absolute perfect employer where you get to do what you're called to do, where you get to enjoy your job, where you get to wake up every morning excited to go and do it, where you get to live the lifestyle you want, whether it's that you don't really enjoy traveling that much, so you're not going to go travel, or whether so you want something that's a lot more steady, or whether you want a job that does allow travel into it because that's what you want to do as well. Fine, go and fucking chase that. Don't just sit there and put up with your crappy employer right now and hope that it gets better. It doesn't. It doesn't. People higher up don't just get better. They are pretty much made as they are. So if you meet your boss, if you meet your employer, whatever it is, and they are an asshole, I'm going to tell it to you straight. They're going to stay an asshole. It's not going to change magically. Don't get me wrong. You can definitely influence people. You can definitely read all the books you want, how to win friends and influence people and all that kind of stuff. And sure, you can learn the hell out of how to manipulate your way into anything. And God knows I've done that. I have done it so much in the past. Like, I seriously thought that was the only way to get ahead in the corporate world, in every single avenue of, even when I was going into business for myself, which was just the worst idea in the world, is to try and think that you can create a dream life that you love by manipulating people. But it's one of those young mindset things. You get a bit high on the power, right? And, oh my God, I've just got on a complete tangent, haven't I? Yeah. Okay. Let me race back. So the point is, you're not going to change that. What you can do is change your circumstance. You can change your situation. You can do whatever you need to do to get yourself to a better role. But sitting there and going, oh, well, my boss sucks, I don't like my job, I don't want to be doing this, but I don't really have any options, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, sure. As soon as you've said that, that is you done. That is your options done. It is exactly the same in running your own business. You have to create your own opportunities. You have to create your own options. And what this means is that you just show up and you ask for it. That's all it is. You do not have to know exactly how it's going to happen. You don't have to know exactly how it's going to look. Although definitely journaling about it and writing it out and writing out this dream life that you have in your mind and what it feels like and what you're going through day to day will definitely help it come to fruition. If you don't know what you want, if you don't have a goal, you're very likely not going to hit it because it's not there, right? You might, like, it could happen, don't get me wrong, like stranger things have happened, but it's unlikely that you're going to hit a goal if it's not even there. And if you do, you might not even realize it or really want it because you didn't even realize that you wanted it in the first place. So, really important, journal about it. If you've figured out what you don't like about your current job and you want to find a better employer, find a better job, find, a better balance of things. If it's that you're just overworked, you have no time to spend with your family and that's what you really value, or you're just not enjoying the work, you're just not really getting anything out of it. Whatever it is, journal about it and journal about what the change that you want is. So what you actually would prefer to be doing instead of the stuff that you don't enjoy, right? Plan it out. Same as when I write about people going into business for themselves and becoming entrepreneurs for themselves. It's the same thing. You have to journal about how you see it, how you want to be, and not just in the future, but as of right now. So this morning, I woke up and I did this, this, and this, and then this happened, and then blah, blah, blah. And you write it out exactly as if it is happening in your ideal life. You have to call it in. You have to know what you want in order to get it. You can't just sit there and whinge about it day after day, turning up at work and having a bitch to your co-workers about how crappy it is there and expect it to get better. That's not what happens, right? It's not how it works. You're going to be there for the next 10, 20, 50 years and still bitching and moaning about it and not getting any further in life. Whatever it is, though, figure it out. Figure out what you really want, what will really make you happy, and what will really, most importantly, give you a sense of purpose. So there's an audio that I have actually on my website. I'm going to post the link down below. And if you haven't done this before, I really suggest you grab it. It's a few dollars. It's not anything great investment or anything like that, but it is a great investment. It's called the Discover Your Life Purpose audio, right? And so this audio is a basically kind of like a meditation that I'd take you through. It's a lot calmer than most of my live streams, and there's no swearing. So, but it's a meditation that's guided to get you to a point where you imagine the end of your life, where you've gotten to, and you're looking back over your life, and really gets you to dig deep to see what you would have done differently if you'd had it over again, what things mattered to you the most. And a lot of people seem to forget this, that, a lot of people will go back on their deathbed. If you've probably seen all these little quotes around, nobody is annoyed that they didn't watch enough TV or they didn't, eat enough pizza or something like that. The things that people regret at the end of their life is the big things that they didn't take a leap on. So the dreams that they didn't go after, the goals that they didn't ever get around to achieving because they just kept putting them off, right? Or, even things like just not spending enough quality time with your family or your friends, or the relationships that you wanted, not going for the relationship that you wanted. And that's a big one as well for people. If you want, part of your dream life is to have your soulmate, your absolute number one, everything in the world, would do anything for, die for, all that kind of stuff. If that's part of your goal, that you want someone like that to share it with, you gotta start doing that. You gotta start looking for that. You gotta start putting that out there, because it's not going to, well, it might just randomly happen, but not likely without the intention, right? And you don't want to get to the end where you are looking back on your life and you're like, well, crap, I settled for a mediocre relationship just so I could pop out a kid. And then I settled for a pretty crappy job where I just kind of bitched and moaned most days, but hey, I've got a retirement fund now and woo. If that excites you, then I don't even know why you're here. Like, I'll be honest, I don't think you're going to get anything out of listening to me, so I'd move the fuck along. But if there's something more to it, if you wanted a better relationship, if you wanted the kind of relationship that, some say comes along once in a lifetime, if you want to look back on your life and be absolutely just enthralled with everything that you did, and you know that you absolutely just showed up and kept stepping up and lived life on purpose and just acted like the alpha fucking superstar that you are every single day, then you're not going to have anything to regret. You're not going to have anything to look back on and go, oh, well, I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd had the balls to do this. I wish I just showed up and done this. I wish I'd taken action on some of these massive goals that I had, right? So whatever it is that your dream life is, first and foremost, okay, action plan, right? Journal. Write about it. Put it into writing. talk about it constantly to yourself about how you see it, how you feel, what you're doing, everything that you want, whether it's that you want a better job because you enjoy being employed, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with any kind of lifestyle that you want. It's up to you. It is your dream life, nobody else's. It doesn't matter to me what you do, and it won't matter to you what I do. It is that simple. We're the only ones who need to live with our choices, right? Same goes for your relationships. If you want a better relationship, you're going to have to step up. You're going to have to start thinking about and writing about and acting as if you are in that better relationship. And I'll be honest, this may mean that you lose your current one. If it's crap, if it's not what you want, if it's something that you've just settled for over the years, yeah, it may end. Sorry, not sorry. But do you really want to get to the end of your life on your deathbed and go, oh, I really wish I'd spent it with someone I actually really wanted to be with, really, really wanted to be with? Or it might mean that your relationship actually grows and expands and becomes the relationship that you've always wanted. Who knows? You won't know until you try it. But you know already what it's going to be. If you don't like it right now, you're not going to like it in 5 years. You're not going to like it in 10 years. Best predictor of future is your past. Or more to the point, your present. So therefore, the present that you have right now is because of every decision that you've made in your past. And every decision in your future is going to be made based on the decisions that you make right now in the present. And if you want to change it, you're going to have to change it. Otherwise, history just keeps repeating itself over and over. So let me go back to the point really quick. Your dream life is by your choice only and no one else's. You do not have to do it like anyone else. You do not have to live it like anyone else. And that goes for absolutely everything. You don't have to have relationships like everyone else. So if you want to be on your own for the rest of your life, because that's just what you know deep down, you are going to enjoy the most and you are going to get the most out of this lifetime, then do it. There's no one here to stop you otherwise. And you sure as hell don't want to be in a relationship where the other person feels like they're holding you back because you're not wanting to be in a relationship. That's not going to be good for either of you, is it? Whatever it is, stop putting all these limitations on how it should be and that it's only going to work out if I do this, or, oh, that's all well and good, and I don't have my own business and I don't really want my own business, so what you're saying doesn't really apply to me. I can't really create my dream life. Like, fucking hell, you can't. You can't as long as you say you can't. But you can do whatever it is that you set your mind to, you set your intention to, and you set your actions to follow through on. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you do need to set the intention of what you want, even if you don't know how you're going to get it, and then just start taking action, some kind of action, some kind of steps. Imagine you are that person who already has that goal and act as if and move the fuck forward. Because sitting on the spot, going around in circles, whinging and bitching about what you've got because you don't like it but you're not prepared to change it, guaranteed it's not going to get you any further. You don't have to do it like anybody else. You don't have to go start your own business if you don't want to. But you need to make the most out of what you do have and what you do want, because otherwise why are you even bothering? Like, what are you trying to get out of this? Are you trying to just see what amazing new reality shows are on TV? Is that going to be your life goal? Or just basically just sitting around for hours and just tuning out your life because something on TV is going to entertain you more than your own thoughts, than your own imagination, than your own goals and dreams and anything that you can achieve. Again, if this is resonating with you, that last part, then move on. Seriously, just click unfollow and move on, because this is not where you're meant to be. And I doubt that we're ever going to have anything in common. So if, however, you know that you are meant for more, you are capable and you have to and you absolutely want to live an incredible life that you are proud of, that you can look back on and be so just thrilled with everything that you've done, that you pushed play and that you just kind of kept going regardless, then you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to step up and do it. Set the intention, take the action, and stop letting other people's opinions and other people's ideas about how their life is going to be fantastic control yours, because it's your life and you're going to have to do what you want sooner or later. And more to the point, you're doing it already. You're doing whatever you want right now. So if it's not actually what you want, then maybe it's time for a bit of a change. All right, I'm going to leave it there. let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to post that link to the audio underneath, so feel free to check that out if you want to have a look at the Discover Your Life Purpose audio. And if you're still looking for a bit more clarity around what it is that you actually want to be doing with your life, I really suggest grabbing that and having a listen to it. It's even better when you sort of re-listen to it over and over. So I'll pop that link below. Any questions, please let me know, and I will see you guys later. Bye.